Good morning. Today is March the 6th, 2025. We're here today for an application hearing for a full drink Sunday summer garden license for Soho Investment LLC, doing business at Soho Bar and Grill, located at 2605 Hampton Avenue. We have here present today the managing officer, Mr. Robert Brazella, and Brazella, and we have Mr. Joe Kelly, an agent for the applicant. Let the record indicate that this application was filed on September the 30th, 2025, and that the hearing notices were mailed to the alderperson, the captain, the neighborhood improvement specialist, and to the agent as well as the NIS for this scheduled hearing of today. Notices was placarded on 2/24/2025. In accordance with ordinance 71819, some housekeeping things were checked as far as the nuisance behavior on or about a licensed premise. Let the record indicate that no nuisance reports were reported, indicating that there was one police report where illegal dumping was occurring prior to, and this is prior to this applicant making an application. So that police report will not be reflected for this application. As I stated, this application was filed on 9/30/24 for the full drink liquor license application. There are two applicants, stockholder, shareholder, LaGrange Association, Mr. Richard Despani with 75.5% and Mr. Robert Brazil with 24.5%. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to enter on the record excise exhibit 1, which is a certified copy of ordinance 71819. Do you have any objections to that being entered, sir?
No.
At this time, excise exhibit 2, which is the file for Soha Investment LLC house that is stored within the excise division. Do you have any objections to that?
No.
At this time, we're gonna have Ms. Anitra Williams, the liquor control officer who conducted the investigation of signatures. Would you raise your right hand? Do you promise that this was in the process of you doing your duties within the excise division, that you swear that it was performed in the course of your duties?
I do.
Would you give your report?
For my report, under the number of tenant and occupants, within the radius were 49. The majority was 25. Of the 25, you all had 28 28 authentic signatures, which made you all 3 over the majority.
Okay, Ms. Williams indicated under the occupant tenant category, 49 was the total occupant tenants in the radius, and they had 28 valid occupant tenant signature, 3 over the majority. Mr. Robert, do you have any objections to that at this time?
No.
Okay, Ms. Williams, would you give your report for property owner, please?
For the property owners within the radius, there were 53. Of the 53, the majority was 28. Of 28, you all had 31, which is over the majority by 3.
Okay. Mr. Robert, do you have any objections to being 3 over the majority in the property owner category?
No.
Okay. Also, it was brought to our attention about visibility under the ordinance itself, 718-1403-160. We should be able to see into your premise. This is a safety mechanism for the excise division, liquor control, and the police department. So we want to just make sure that we have visibility into your establishment at all times. Okay, that is for the record. Based up on no one appearing in opposition to the issuance of this license, I hereby grant the approval with the understanding that your hours of operation is 6 a.m. to 1:30 a.m. And you obtained two simple majorities. I approve the issuance of the full drink Sunday and summer garden license for Soho Investment LLC located at 2605 Hampton Avenue. At this time, I conclude this hearing.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Painless, right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, I need you to.
Called back by Enterprise. I heard you. I don't know. The entire parking lot is full. So I was on the web one. And I heard you say my name. I heard you say my name, so I was running all the way
You heard me say your name?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I said, Austin, that's the managing officer. Ready to begin? Today is March the sixth, 2025. The time is approximately 9:37 a.m. We're here today for the liquor license application for a full drink Summer Garden Sidewalk Cafe for 1001 Washington Tenant LLC, doing business as Buddy's Wine Bar and Bistro, located at 101 Washington Avenue. My name is Gwendolyn Cherry Sims. I'm the Liquor Control Supervisor, acting in the absence of Commissioner Miles McDonald. We have present today Mr. Austin Blankenship, who is listed as 20% shareholder within the LLC. We have Mr. James Page of the
Downtown Neighborhood
Association. And we have Mrs. Mildred Bell Gibbons, the Executive Secretary for the Excise Division. This liquor license application was applied for under the small business criteria, which is under ordinance 71819, in which you have to follow the guidelines of 1406. 100. It indicates that you cannot be in debt or haven't paid any of your personal property tax or your tax. We did a check of that. All taxes was cleared for all three applicants that are listed on the application. We also did a check for calls for service for that location. We found one call for service for that location. It was a burglary at the premise. That's the only call for service that we located at that time. Let the record indicate that based upon the nuisance database, there was no record of nuisance activity at the address of 101 Washington Avenue. This application was filed via the web on January the 24th, 2025. The posters were placard. They are required to stay up for 30 days. The posters was placard in the neighborhood on February the 6th. And we have a notation where the posters were placard to the neighborhood, giving the greatest visibility to the citizens within the community. And we're here today where letters went out to the alderman, the neighborhood liaison, the neighborhood improvement specialist, the district captain, the police. Those letters went out on February the 21st, 2025. And on February the 24th, the hearing notice was placard as to why we're here today. At this time, based up on the ordinance itself, in which the small business criteria do not have to obtain signatures. However, they have to be a restaurant and they have to sell food, restaurant or similar facility. And they have to sell food from the time that they're open to the time that they close. The hours of operation, that was an acknowledgement form that was signed by the applicant on January the 27th, 2025, indicating that he understood that the hours of operation will be 9 a.m. to 12 midnight daily. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to enter on the record Excise Exhibit 1 is a certified copy of Ordinance 71819. As you see, it is certified by the Registrar's Office. Also, what I'm going to enter on the record is Excise Exhibit 2, which is the file that belongs to 1001 Washington Tenant LLC will be Excise Exhibit 2. In that file will be the documentation that they signed that they understand their hours, 9 a.m. to midnight. At this time, the information that we also received that there was not a nuisance behavior at this location at this time. Also, the one police report, those will become a part of the file, and that is under Excise Exhibit 2. Mr., do you have any objections to those two exhibits?
No objections, whatever.
Okay, at this time, I want to ask, do you have any complaints or any statements that you would like to make at this time? For the record, Mr. James Page.
Actually, far from a complaint, I would like to commend Buddies on having completed and signed the Downtown Neighborhood Association's Good Neighbor Agreement. This is a document that we present to all liquor license applicants, and they have completed that document. This is a copy for the applicant. And this is a copy for Excise's record,
Thank you.
and a copy for our files. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James.
Okay, at this time, let the record reflect that Excise was given a copy of the Good Neighboring Agreement that was handed out by Mr. James Page of the St. Louis Downtown Neighborhood Association, whereas it appears that Mr. Austin Blankenship had signed the Downtown Neighboring Association. This is an agreement between the neighborhood and 1001 Washington Tenant LLC.
Yes,
The Excise Division cannot enforce your your downtown agreement, but we do acknowledge that you have this document on file with the Excise Division.
completely understood.
Yes, sir. Okay. Based upon, do we have anyone online? Okay. You do understand that the initial 90-day license, it is a license that is a temporary license that you will provisionally get. You'll pay a prorated fee for 3 months. Within those 3 months, we expect for you to do your sales, operate as a restaurant, closing on time, ensuring that if there are any behavior issues or any improper acts, that you address those improper acts, notify our office immediately, and we'll take it from there. But within the 90 days, you turn in your sale figures, you will get 2 90-day licenses, okay? After the second 90-day license, closer to the last month, we will schedule a final determination hearing, at which time, if you have successfully obtained the figures that you need to be a restaurant, or then the Excise Division will, once they schedule their hearing, have a final hearing,
Okay.
and then you'll be able to get your license for a year. But the first 90 days, then a second 90 days, we will monitor all activities on or about the premise. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay. Based upon the testimony given here today, the evidence that was obtained from the nuisance database, also from the police department about the activity, I went to the chair and find that this establishment would not be a detriment to the community in which it wishes to do business. I hereby approve the 90-day temporary license for the restaurant bar to be located at 1001 Washington for 1001 Washington Tenant LLC. At this time, I conclude this hearing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Good morning. The date is March the 6th, 2025. The time is approximately 10 o'clock a.m. We're here today for a liquor license application for a full drinking Sunday liquor license under Board Bill 60, the restaurant bar, for Logan Legacy LLC, doing business as the Moniker. Moniker?
Yes, sir.
Okay, located at 1000 Washington Avenue, Unit B. My name is Gwendolyn Cherry Sims. I'm the acting hearing officer for the day. I am actually the liquor control supervisor. And we have Mrs. Mildred Bell Gibbons, the executive secretary for the division. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over a couple of things here. Based upon this being a small business criteria with the new ordinance 71819, where a person who applies as a restaurant and bar, their hours of operation are 9 a.m. to midnight only, 7 days a week. And on January the 14th, the applicant signed a statement understanding that their hours of operation. This board bill, because of the restaurant board, you don't require signatures, but you do require that you be a restaurant from the time you open that day to the time you close that day. You have to sell food, okay? We have a little housekeeping we gotta do here. I'm going to enter as excise exhibit 1, a certified copy of the liquor ordinance that gives us the right to have an application hearing for a restaurant bar without signatures, okay? We're gonna also enter as excise exhibit 2, the file belonging to Logan Legacy LLC located at 1000 Washington Avenue, Unit B. Up under the ordinance and section 140625, it requires that we do what is called where we verify if any nuisance behavior occurs on or about the premise. And I know that this is a new ownership within this building. However, we are still required to find out if it's a nuisance location. And we understand that your location is not a nuisance location, but some of the behavior that has occurred on or about that premise previously is still up under nuisance review. And the premises are being monitored for 6 months. At this time, your liquor license would be under those same guidelines of being monitored for 6 months also. With the understanding that any kind of improper acts or behavior that occur on or about your license premise, I know you can't control what happens throughout the building because you're on the first floor in Unit B. But we do expect if something occurred on or about your premise that you notify the excise division immediately as well as the police department. And as I stated, so we got the information about the nuisance activity. We ran each and every applicant that is a part of your LLC. We did pass the taxes database that you were cleared on your taxes. And as I stated, we had several calls for service, okay? And we're not gonna tag you. I can just hold a list of several calls for service. So please understand that there are elements or things that normally would disqualify you, but you are a new applicant that's going into this space. Okay, so you wanna be mindful of things that occur on or about the premise to report those things. Okay. Moving forward, are there any questions thus far?
Oh, man.
Okay, Mr. Page, okay. This liquor license was applied online through the small business criteria portal. And as a requirement under the board bill that the signs where you made application has to stay up for 30 days. And I'm hoping those signs are still up.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and this just a poster to make sure that the neighborhood was aware of your application. And what brings us here today is the the liquor license hearing itself, and we did post the premise. Notices went out to the neighborhood organization, to the captain, the auto person, to the applicant, to the agent, and to the NIS. No persons appeared here today in opposition to the initial 90-day temporary license for a restaurant bar. Do anybody have any questions? No?
Can I stop the proceedings to note that my friend Brittany always has questions, so this is a milestone.
I'm trying to answer all of them as we go. Miss Brittany, do you have any questions?
No, that's why I said this is a milestone, when she said she had no questions. I'm telling your
I'm
husband.
just as thorough as you are,
Okay.
so I appreciate it. You've done everything you need to do. I'm
She's
not-
my neighbor, I gotta tell her husband that Brittany had nothing to say.
Awesome. Well, we just want to make sure we're properly informing our applicants of what, the responsibilities are and what they need to do, and welcome them to the city and
Sure.
doing business. We thank you all. Based up on no persons, are there anyone online wishing to speak? Okay. Record reflects no one's online. Okay, so we're gonna move ahead based up on, no persons appearing in person, no person appearing online. We have to yield and allow Mr. Pister to speak. Mr. Pister?
Mr. Fisher, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm just watching. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let the record indicate that Mr. Pister is, online observing the hearing today. Was offered the opportunity to speak, at which time he indicated he did not want to. So based up on no persons appearing in opposition to the issuance of the license, the, previously mentioned building that had some issues with nuisance behavior that is being monitored for 6 months. No other police activity other than what was detailed initially. I'm going to approve the 90-day temporary food, drink, and Sunday license for Logan Legacy LLC doing business as The Mockery located at 1000 Washington Avenue, Unit B. At this time, I conclude this hearing.
Thank you very much.
Oh, see, now.
Y'all good?
Yes.
Okay. Why you ain't, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute, y'all.
Brittany,
Hold on for a minute. See, I asked if you had any questions and y'all said no. I would have went there at that time. I would have allowed you to do it. I'm gonna, go ahead and start it back. Just,
I didn't know.
okay, for the record, I'm going to allow Mr. Page, Neighborhood Association to, say some words and present what he needs to present on, our record, but this is agreement between the Downtown Partners and the Logan Legacy LLC that the Excise Division is not overseeing, but this is an agreement that we will place in our files, but the enforcement part of that agreement is between Downtown Partner Association and Logan, Legacy LLC.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm very happy to let everyone know that, that the Downtown Neighborhood Association presented our Good Neighbor Agreement to the staff of the Moniker, and they have signed, and I would like to enter a copy into the record. They will have a copy, and we'll retain a copy in DNA's files.
Let the record reflect that the Excise Division received a copy of the Downtown Neighborhood Agreement Exhibit 1 from Mr. Page to enter into the record, understanding that this agreement is between the Logan Legacy LLC and the Downtown Neighborhood Association, in which they will enforce. Okay, thank you. Now, I conclude this.
Look us up if we can help.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we really done?
We're done now. All right.
I do have one question.
Awesome. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
If something happens, we just need to, we just follow our proper protocol in calling the police, like, we're gonna do our part.
Yes, ma'am. You
And
call the police and immediately, once you get through calling the police the next day, put something in writing. You can email something into us, letting us know
What happened?
what happened. If you got a police report number, supply that police
Okay.
report. You know, as best you can. That is up under what is called an improper act. And, you know, you supposed to, as it says, try to suppress something. If it escalate, you know, try to talk to them. If it's two people getting inside, you may not want to put both of them out at the same time.
Right.
You know, so you're trying to be good neighbors at the same time, but we do know things happen on or about a premise, but if, as best that we can police it, we try, you know. You may say, well, okay, you know, they into it, all right, but just let that person
Yeah.
sit there for a little bit, you know, try to
And-
send the other person away, you know.
The operative term is operate, using good sense.
Yeah. Sometimes they'll put them out at the same time and then it just.
Then it
outside,
escalates
yeah,
outside,
you know,
yeah.
it's worse.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
you know, I believe that you all would make some sound judgments. Thank
Well,
you.
the, the population in that building has shifted dramatically in the last 6 months, so
Ah,
there are fewer, if any, troublemakers still living in the building.
Wow, but did you bought this building?
No, I didn't. Alex Oliver has been buying a lot of properties.
You know, don't you? Okay. I was looking for my statement. Did they sign one? Huh. I was trying. I like to know a little bit. Thank you, Ms. Page.
Certainly.
It ain't saying that it's not in here. Grab a little piece of paper for me because, in accordance with the ordinance itself, we have to. Okay, she's gonna do this. This is just a, acknowledgement form about the hours of operation. Okay. Okay, so that's all this is gonna take less than 5 minutes when I get to rolling. Okay, I talk a little bit, but I just wanna make sure you understand. Okay. This Paige, you be chilling, ain't you?
Absolutely.
This is an acknowledgement form regarding Board Bill 60, which is the ordinance we work out. Under this 1401-400, it says that your hours of operation shall be 9 a.m. to midnight only, that you will operate as a restaurant or similar facility, and that, as long as you're operating, that anytime you're open, food must be served. Okay, can I get your sign off? See? Okay. Pero que no le ponemos la pintura, solamente en el DVI, sí. Go on. Radio. Twenty twenty-five, the time is approximately 10:46 a.m. We're here today for a 22% drink and a 22% Sunday with the Summer Garden under Board Bill 60 restaurant or small business criteria. The application was accepted into City Works on January the 16th, 2025. Mr. Joe Kelly is an agent that's here today, along with Mrs. Pandit Kaur, the managing officer for Tiki Tangi LLC, doing business as Tiki Tangi, located at 390 North Euclid, Unit 105. What I want to do is, she's filing this application under 1406-025 of our ordinance. What I want to enter today is a certified copy of ordinance 71819 that gives us the right to have a hearing and to approve the issuance of a restaurant or license. Will be excise exhibit 1. Excise exhibit 2 is the file that's for Tiki Tangi LLC, kept by the excise division, will be excise exhibit 2. As per ordinance, we have to check to make sure that your establishment does not have any nuisance behavior. At which time we checked the nuisance database, we did not find any nuisance behavior that was reported. Also, we made a request to the police department to see if there were any criminal behavior or calls for service that we needed to know about. None was reported, which is good. Also, the record shall reflect that all members of Tiki Tangi LLC, all members' earning tax clearance was submitted and it was approved. As by ordinance, we're required that the neighborhood be notified that an application has been applied for a restaurant or, and those signs have to stay up for 30 days. We received notification and a copy of the signs were uploaded. At which time, those were up for 30 days, and on February the 20th, notices went out to the neighborhood notifying them of the application hearing for the 22% drink and the 22% Sunday license, along with a summer guard for the hearing that was held today. Those notices was mailed to the alderman, the police captain, the neighborhood improvement specialist, and the applicant at her place of business and home, along with the agent. Do we have anybody online in opposition to the issuance? No. Record indicate that no persons are online in opposition to the issuance of this license. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, no questions at this time. Based upon, we did have the applicant to sign an acknowledgement form in accordance with 1401-400 that they would be a restaurant and you will operate from 9 a.m. to midnight daily, or anytime that you're open, you will sell food.
Yes.
That acknowledgement form was signed on January the 15th, 2025, and it is in the excise file. Based upon no persons appearing in opposition to the issuance of the 90-day temporary license for a 22% drink and a 22% Sunday, that the establishment does not appear to be a detriment to the community, I hereby approve the 90-day restaurant board license for Tiki Tangi LLC at 390 North Euclid.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Whoa, we done, but I
Done.
need you to sign this.